You guys know I've been a little reluctant about the Phantom 4 Pro, so I got tired of everybody else talking about this thing, so I decided to bite the bullet, go ahead and buy it, test it. I really like it. Hey guys, welcome back. These are some initial thoughts on the Phantom 4 Pro after a few days of testing. Keep in mind everything that I'm going to talk about in this video, it was shot on the H.264 codec. I haven't done enough testing with the 265 codec, and that one's going to take some work because it's a little more difficult to work with. Let's put it like that for now. But so everything you're going to see is shot with the H.264 codec. Everything is shot with the cine-like profile. So far I'm leaning toward that even for the Phantom 4 Pro, just like the Mavic. Everything was shot in 4K at 30 frames per second, and my subsettings are sharpness on -1, contrast on -3, and saturation or color on -2. Also, I didn't use any ND filters for these tests because I just don't have any yet, but I highly recommend ND filters for any kind of aerial videography. The camera itself is pretty impressive. It's a 2.8 aperture, but what's really, really cool is you can adjust that aperture now. So you can go from 2.8 to f11, which really helps a lot because you can adjust the f-stop, which allows less light to come in. So it lessens, it doesn't remove the need for an ND filter, but it lessens the need for an ND filter. Some of the tests you'll see here in a little bit, you'll see what I mean. They don't look too bad despite the fact that it was just the camera lens out there in the bright sunshine, because I was able to put that f-stop up to f11 and my shutter speed was probably a max of around 300, maybe 350, something like that. But that's much different than traditionally. If you're at f2.8, your shutter speed, gosh, could be 1000 or 1500, which is just crazy, way too fast. On the top right-hand side of the controller, there's a wheel, and that wheel is used to adjust the ISO, the shutter speed, and the f-stop. And the way you toggle through that on screen on the app is push the wheel. Instead of rotating it, you push the wheel, and you'll see that it'll change and toggle through those settings so you can adjust them within the app. So you've got tap focus that you've got to remember to do. Another quick tip is on the right-hand side, the shutter button for the camera. After you've tapped focus, if you tap that button and hold it in just halfway, it'll activate the focus just like a DSLR camera. So that way you don't have to keep coming back up and touching the button. You can just reach up, grab that little button, half push in, and beep, it'll focus. Now the other wheel on the opposite side, on the top left-hand corner, you can actually dampen the speed, the endpoints of the tilt on the camera. Before on the P3, if you have that quad, you'll notice that when you tilt up and down with that button, it's very abrupt. When it comes down up, it stops, and when it goes down, it stops. On the P4 Pro, you can adjust how much of that ease that you want with the movement, so the camera will move up and slow into position, or move down and slow into position. So that makes for much more elegant and cinematic film. I've had a few days to test the Phantom 4 Pro, and I am super impressed. This thing is pretty amazing. And for any of you out there wondering if a prosumer grade quadcopter can do cinematic and get professional results, rest assured that the answer to that is yes, absolutely it can. have not seen one hint of this pulsing exposure yet. So hopefully that less firmware that I had to do as soon as I got the bird, perhaps some of that has been resolved. So it's been quite a debate, and I think that at least illustrates that there is an issue somewhere. I don't think this is being overly critical or anything like that. And I wanted to say something to the people who saw that video and were not happy about it. It made some people pretty mad, and I can certainly understand that. It was a tough video for me to make. It really was. I don't like making videos that aren't positive and about sharing something and learning something. I don't like negativity. But like I said, it was a hard video for me to make, and I can sympathize for people that just spent $1,500 and are having some guy on his YouTube channel say that there's a problem. When I spend $1,500 on anything, I don't want to hear anyone tell me that there's a problem. So I totally understand it, and I certainly appreciate your all's understanding. Well, guys, that's all I've got. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and give me a like if you don't mind. I hopefully will talk to you guys very soon. Have a great day.